Welcome to the 2021 City of Rio Rancho Memorial Day service. Would you please rise for the colors and remain standing for our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Augustine. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Salazar, Sergeant Houghton. I'd now like to recognize our distinguished guests in attendance today. Congresswoman Teresa Nader Fernandez. Let me go ahead and read all the names, and then actually y'all may be seated, and then we'll have them stand. Jason Jarvis, Senator Martinez Heinrich's office. Bob Tyler, Deputy Mayor. Gene Cowdell, Representative. Councilors Dan Stoddard. Carissa Colbreth. Representative Joshua Hernandez. Commissioners Mike Meek and David Heil. And DA Barbara Romo. At this time, would you please rise for this morning's invocation led by Chaplain Bill Jennings.
Uncover, please. Almighty God, Father of all mankind and Judge over nations, we ask you to bless this memorial service and to look down with favor and understanding upon the hearts of those who are gathered here to pay the tribute to those who have made the supreme sacrifice, and for the benefit of all free people everywhere. The lives of those who paid the supreme sacrifice are glorious before us. Their deeds constitute a daily inspiration for those like ourselves who remain in the home communities. In God we trust. Grant unto us your continued fellowship that makes abiding peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my distinct pleasure to bring up the Mayor of the City of Rio Rancho, Mayor Greg Hall.
Good morning and welcome to this beautiful day where we assemble to remember and reflect upon the great sacrifice that was made by brave men and women around the world to protect our freedoms. Once again, I want to welcome all of our distinguished guests and thank them for being here, and thank each and every one of you for being here today to come out to honor our fallen and those that have made that ultimate sacrifice. I also want to say thank you to each of the service members that are here in attendance today for your commitment and your sacrifice to our country and to our freedom. It certainly does not go unnoticed and does not go unappreciated. Before I read the proclamation today, one word comes to mind. One word and one word only, and it's gratitude. Gratitude for the sacrifices that have been made so that I could stand here today and honor and recognize those that went before me to provide the very freedoms that I enjoy on a day-to-day basis. Each one of us, as we reflect on today, as we reflect upon the sacrifice, should remember that one word, gratitude. And a simple thank you is owed to those that gave that ultimate sacrifice and are still sacrificing to this very day. While a simple thank you doesn't seem like enough, sometimes it's just that we forget. It's so easy to forget to just say thank you and reflect upon all the wonderful things that we get to do in this country because of the freedoms that were provided to us by the blood of patriots. So for that, I say thank you. Memorial Day 2021. Whereas Memorial Day was established in 1868 in remembrance of soldiers who died in the Civil War. And whereas, for more than 150 years, our nation has set aside this day to pay homage to American patriots who have fallen in service to our country. And whereas, on Memorial Day, we pause to remember that freedom comes at a great cost, and throughout history, on land, in the air, and in the seas and oceans, American military personnel have stood tall to oppose the enemies of freedom, to defend our liberty, and uphold the promise of our democracy. And whereas, Rio Ranchoans, we remember both past and present armed forces personnel and their families, and honor and respect the ultimate sacrifices that have been made to ensure peace, prosperity, and independence. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Gregory D. Hull, as Mayor of the City of Rio Rancho, do hereby recognize May 31st, 2021 as Memorial Day in the City of Rio Rancho and ask all citizens to join in the observance of this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Hull. Memorial Day is a time when we reflect on honor our military brothers and sisters who have given the ultimate sacrifice and service to this great nation. Let us now reflect on a few New Mexico veterans from past battles that left their legacy on the battlefield.
Hi, I'm Bill Jennings. I'm the commander of Rio Rancho Post 118 American Legion and also a Department of New Mexico officer. Specialist 4th Class Daniel Fernandez, U.S. Army. For conspicuous gallantry at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, Specialist Fernandez demonstrated innumerable courage when the patrol was ambushed by a Viet Cong rifle company and driven back by intense enemy automatic weapons fire before it could evacuate an American soldier who had been wounded in the Viet Cong attack. Specialist Fernandez, a sergeant, and 2 other volunteers immediately fought their way back through devastating fire and exploding grenades to reach the fallen soldier. Upon reaching the fallen comrade, the sergeant was struck in the knee by machine gun fire and immobilized. Specialist Fernandez took charge, rallied the left flank of his patrol, and began to assist in the recovery of the wounded sergeant. While first aid was being administered to the wounded man, a sudden increase in the accuracy and intensity of enemy fire forced the volunteer group to take cover. As they did, an enemy grenade landed in the midst of the group. Although some men did not see it, realizing there was no time for the wounded sergeant or other men to protect themselves from the grenade blast, Specialist Fernandez vaulted over the sergeant and threw himself on the grenade as it exploded, saving the lives of 4 comrades and sacrifice of his life. Specialist Fernandez, profound concern for his fellow soldiers at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, are in the highest traditions of the U.S. Army and reflect great credit upon himself and the armed forces of his country. For his actions at Chu Chi Hong Providence, Republic of Vietnam, 18 February 1966. Specialist Fernandez was awarded the Medal of Honor.
Morning. My name is Anthony Duro. I am the Junior Past Commandant of the Marine Corps League, Lance Corporal Christopher Adelsberger, Detachment 1316 here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Lance Corporal Christopher Adelsberger, U.S. Marine Corps. For extraordinary heroism while serving as a rifleman, Company K, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, Regimental Combat Team 1, 1st Marine Division, in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom on 10 November 2004. As Private First Class Adelsberger made entry into a house in the Jolan district of Al-Fallujah during Operation Al-Fajr, his squad received a heavy volume of enemy machine gun fire from a well-prepared entrenched machine gun position. These fires instantly killed the point man and injured another Marine and the platoon corpsman. Exposed to heavy enemy machine gun and grenades, Private First Class Christopher Adelsberger immediately attacked the enemy with rifle fire. While doing so, he suffered a fragmentation wound from enemy grenades. With the majority of his platoon pinned down by insurgent positions, Private First Class Adelsberger single-handedly cleared stairs and a rooftop to move the injured to a rooftop where they could receive medical attention. On his own initiative, while deliberately exposing himself to heavy enemy fire, he established a series of fire positions and attacked the enemy force, forcing them to be destroyed in place or to move into an area where adjacent forces could engage them. Disregarding his own wounds and physical exhaustion, Private First Class Adelsberger rejoined his platoon and demanded to take point for a final assault on the same machine gun position. Once an amphibian assault vehicle created a breach in the wall adjacent to the enemy's position, Private First Class Adelsberger was the first Marine to re-enter the courtyard where he eliminated the remaining insurgent at close range. When the fighting finally ceased, a significant number of insurgents from fortified positions had been eradicated. Through his actions, Private First Class Adelsberger destroyed the last strong point of the Jolan district of Al-Fallujah and saved the lives of his fellow Marines. By his outstanding display of decisive leadership, unlimited courage in the face of heavy enemy fire, and utmost devotion to duty, Private First Class Adelsberger reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For his actions during Operation Phantom Fury, the Second Battle of Fallujah, Lance Corporal Adelsberger was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross on April 13, 2007.
Morning. I'm Jim Haddix, Department of New Mexico Veteran of Foreign Wars, District 2 Commander, and Post 5890 Rio Rancho Commander. Sonar Technician 2nd Class Petty Officer Matthew Ackelson, United States Navy. For extraordinary heroism and actions against the enemy while serving in 4-man Special Reconnaissance Element with SEAL Delivery Team 1, Naval Special Warfare Task Unit, Afghanistan, from 27-28 June 2005. Petty Officer Axelson demonstrated extraordinary heroism in the face of grave danger in the vicinity of Asadabad, Kannur Province, Afghanistan. Operating in the middle of an enemy-controlled area in extremely rugged terrain, his Special Reconnaissance Elements was tasked with locating a high-level anti-coalition militia leader in support of a follow-on direct action mission to disrupt enemy activity. On 28 June 2005, the element was spotted by anti-coalition militia sympathizers who immediately revealed their position to the militia fighters. As a result, the element directly encountered the enemy. Demonstrating exceptional resolve and fully understanding the gravity of the situation, Petty Officer Ackelson's element bravely engaged the militia, who held both a numerical and positional advantage. The ensuing firefight resulted in numerous enemy personnel killed, with several of the Navy members suffering casualties. Ignoring his injuries and demonstrating exceptional composure, Petty Officer Ackelson advised the teammate closest to him to escape while he provided cover fire. With total disregard for his own life and thinking only of his teammate's survival, he continued to attack the enemy, eliminating additional militia fighters until he was mortally wounded by enemy fire. A champion of freedom, Petty Officer Axelson will be remembered for his self-sacrificing actions in the continuing global war on terrorism. By his undaunted courage, fortitude under fire, and unwavering dedication to duty, Petty Officer Axelson reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. His gallantry gave his life for the cause of freedom.
My name is Charles Walters, Marine Corps League, Department Commandant, Department Past Commandant for the state of New Mexico. Senior Airman Jason Cunningham, United States Air Force. The President of the United States of America, authorized by Title 10, Section 8742 of the USC, awards the Air Force Cross to Senior Airman Jason D. Cunningham for extraordinary heroism in military operations against an opposing armed force while serving as a pararescueman near the village of Marzak in the Pakit province of Afghanistan on 4 March 2002. On that proud day, Airman Cunningham was the primary Air Force combat search and rescue medic assigned to a quick reaction force tasked to recover 2 American servicemen evading capture in the Australian terrain occupied by masked Al-Qaeda and Taliban forces. Shortly before landing, his MH-47 Echo helicopter received accurate rocket-propelled grenade and small arm fire, severely disabling the aircraft and causing it to crash land. The assault force formed a hasty defense and immediately suffered 3 fatalities and 5 critical casualties. Despite effective enemy fire and at great risk to his own life, Airman Cunningham remained in the burning fuselage of the aircraft in order to treat the wounded. As he moved his patients to a more secure location, mortar rounds began to impact within 50 feet of his position. Disregarding this extreme danger, he continued the movement and exposed himself to enemy fire on 7 separate occasions. When the second casualty collection point was also compromised, in a display of uncommon valor and gallantry, Airman Cunningham braved an intense small arms and rocket-propelled grenade attack while repositioning the critically wounded to a 3rd collection point. Even after he was mortally wounded himself and quickly deteriorating, he continued to direct patient movement and transferred care to another medic. In the end, his distinct efforts led to successful delivery of 10 gravely wounded Americans to life-saving medical treatment. Through his extraordinary heroism, superb airmanship, aggressiveness in the face of the enemy, and in the dedication of his service to his country, Senior Airman Cunningham reflected the highest credit upon himself and the United States Air Force.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Pugh. I am with the Lance Corporal Christopher Adelsberger Marine Corps League Detachment 1316. I am with the Women Marines Association and the Women Veterans of New Mexico. Petty Officer, 3rd Class, Nathan Bruckenthal, U.S. Coast Guard. The President of the United States of America takes pride in presenting the Bronze Star Medal with Combat V posthumously to Damage Controlman, 3rd Class, Nathan B. Bruckenthal, United States Coast Guard, for heroic achievement in connection with combat operations against the enemy while serving as boarding officer with USS Firebolt PC-10 and the United States Coast Guard Law Enforcement Detachment 403 during Operation Iraqi Freedom on 24 April 2004. While patrolling the security zone around the Al-Basra oil terminal in Iraqi territorial waters, Petty Officer Bruckenthal detected a small, unidentified dhow proceeding towards the oil terminal. After maneuvering the tram to screen the oil terminal, Petty Officer Bruckenthal approached the dhow to investigate its actions. As the boarding team drew alongside the dhow, the attacker on board the vessel, realizing he had been discovered, detonated explosives packed on board, mortally wounding Petty Officer Bruckenthal. The explosion alerted all in the area to an ongoing coordinated attack, allowing security forces to destroy 2 additional explosive-laden vessels, thereby preventing massive casualties, irreversible environmental damage, and the destruction of the Iraqi people's major economic lifelines. By his zealous initiative, courageous actions, and exceptional dedication to duty, Petty Officer Bruckenthal reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the Coast Guard and the United States Naval Service.
These are examples of just one soldier, Marine, sailor, airman, and Coast Guardman that paid the ultimate sacrifice serving our country. There are many more brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, heroes that we all have lost. Let us take a moment of silence as we honor all our veterans who could not be with us today. Thank you. We'd also like to recognize any family member of a fallen veteran in attendance today. Will all those family members here today please stand to be recognized? We thank you and want you to know we got your six. Your fallen family member will always be in our hearts. God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the wreath ceremony and dedication to our fallen brothers and sisters.
Forward, arms. Half right, face. Ready, aim, fire. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. Half left, face. Reset, arms.
On behalf of the City of Rio Rancho, we thank you and your family for your sacrifice, and would like to present this token of our appreciation. A copy of today's proclamation, an American flag, coins from the various different organizations represented here today. Thank you, sir. God bless you, and God bless your sacrifice.
Many of those that continue to serve in the United States military do so as a way to carry on the legacy, honor, and tradition of the men and women that have come before them. Those men and women who serve today, both in and out of uniform, take pride in giving of themselves to others as a small way of honoring those that gave the ultimate sacrifice, those that we honor today. At this time, we would like to recognize one of those veterans. This is the Marine of the Year Award presented to Marine Charles K. Walters. In recognition of his devotion to the ideals and principles of the Marine Corps League and his untiring efforts on behalf of the Department of New Mexico, Marine Walters has served his detachment and the department in many roles, including as Commandant. He currently serves on the National Staff Scholarships Committee and is the Department Aide-de-Camp to the National Vice Commandant of the Rocky Mountain Division. Presented this 31st day of May, 2021, Joe P. Mendiola, Commandant, Department of New Mexico Marine Corps League. This time we'd like to receive some closing remarks from Mayor Hall.
Once again, I'd just like to say thank you for everybody that gave up time in their day to come here, remember, and reflect. If there's one thing I can say about Rio Rancho is we honor these traditions, we honor these sacrifices, and we honor our veterans. And so for that, once again, I'll say thank you. And please, as you depart today, keep each of these sacrifices that was spoken of today in front of mind as you're celebrating your freedoms today. And remember that there was a great price that was paid so that we could enjoy a beautiful day like this in the United States of America. So God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. Thank you.
As we conclude, I want to remind everyone Memorial Day is a time when we reflect and honor our fallen military brothers and sisters. As you entered Veterans Memorial Park today, you might have noticed the formation of military boots, as well as inverted rifle displayed in front of the podium, known to us as Battlefield Cross. Battlefield Cross. The helmet and dog tags signify a fallen veteran, their name never to be forgotten. The inverted rifle signals a time for prayer, a break in the action to pay tribute to our fallen friend. The combat boots, worn and dirty, represent the final march of that veteran's last battle. On the grass of Veterans Park, next to each boot displayed is a photograph. A photograph of father, mother, brother, sister, co-worker, a hero. A hero that gave ultimate sacrifice in service to this great nation. There are over 150 boots in this formation you see before you today. But more importantly, there are 150 loved ones that we veterans here today will never forget. As you depart today, take a moment to honor those in the formation as a small fraction of the over 700,000 that have been killed or are missing in action today. We will never forget you. Thank you all again for your attendance. We appreciate your support of our fallen veterans on this Memorial Day. This concludes our ceremony.